On Divorce Court today. Can a dreamer with a lot of ideas and not much follow-through make his wife happy? Daphne says her husband squanders money on businesses that fail. Stanley claims the pressure from her spending is more than he can handle. Daphne St. Valerie Nozil and Stanley Nozil have brought their dispute for Judge Lynn Toler to resolve. Testimony in divorce court starts now.
Ms. Nozil and Mr. Nozil, the two of you have been married for 9.5 years. You do not, however, want to be married anymore. The long and short of it is, Mrs. Nozil, you say your husband is a pathological liar and you're done with it.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me some of the more significant fibs he has told?
Well, my husband tells little fibs that I don't understand where they come from. Like, for example, if I ask him if I've gone to work and I tell him, give the kids a bath, make sure they've eaten, I'll come home, the kids I'll call him and I'll ask him while I'm at work, have the kids bathed, did they eat? Yeah, everything's good, and I'll come home, the kids are still dirty. They haven't eaten what I've, set out for them to eat. And it's just like little tiny lies that he tells. Like, if I send him to do something, he said he's done it and it hasn't been done.
I don't think that's a pathological liar. I think that's a guy just trying to get out of work. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, baby, I did it and really didn't get done. To me, that doesn't sound so bad. You tell me something that will cause me alarm.
Okay, well, we had a business that he told me that he wanted to invest in. And I've always invested in every dream that he's ever had. I've borrowed money from family. I used up every single penny I had. He emptied out his 401k, and we invested in this business. I would call him while I was at work, and I'd say, hey, how's everything going? Everything's good. People came in the store, and everything's good. Everything's cool. And then I'll talk to my family members, and they're like, he's still in bed. So for me, I'm like, I've invested all this money. I've borrowed from Tom, Dick, and Harry to get this dream of yours going, but you're not really pushing hard enough to get it executed.
Mr. Nozil, did everybody give you money and she spent all her money, open up a store, and you didn't bother to show up?
First of all, Your Honor, it's completely not true.
Okay. Tell me what happened.
The whole situation with her family saying I'm not in the store. Okay, this is how it started. So they will fabricate stories saying that I'm not in the store. I run my store. I'm in the store almost 24/7. Okay? So by them calling to her that I'm not there, I'll ask her, why would she say anything like that? Why would anybody say anything like that?
When did this happen? Was this years ago?
That was about a couple years ago, like when we had
Were you able to make the store a success?
Well, we were not a success, unfortunately, because of the location, because what we were bringing out, the neighborhood that we're in, we're not up to that yet.
Right.
So we're kind of trying to change the neighborhood a little bit.
So you were a little ahead of the curve as far as
exactly.
as
so
far
we're trying
as
to
you
bring
knew.
some different in the neighborhood.
But Stan is a dreamer. He'll sell you a dream, and he's a charmer. He'll tell you everything you want to hear. When he wanted to design lamps, I bought him a sketchbook. He wanted to design clothes. I bought him a clothing sketchbook. And I do these things, and he'll get them. It's like a little girl who wants to play the piano. She begs her parents, and then they put her in piano class, and she doesn't want to do it anymore. And that's his thing.
Mr. Nozil, let me ask you this. I know a lot of people who have a lot of really great ideas. And the difference between a great idea and a successful business is many things, one of which is good planning. I mean, you got to investigate the area in which your shop is going. Does it have enough foot traffic? Does it support the kind of products that you're selling? Are you doing business plans and making decisions that are based not on, wow, I think this is a good idea, but on this is a thought out process and road, and I'm going to put my money there?
I did all of that, Your Honor, but the problem with that was, to start a business, you have to have enough fund. You have the principal capital, then you also got to have operating costs. So at one point, I lost my job, so I didn't have enough fund to put in the business, because everything I earned, I was putting in there. I appreciate her pushing me and helping me in everything I've tried to do. And I was
now, is he accurate that the business failed, not because he was languishing in bed, but because he lost his job and was unable to capitalize it sufficiently?
Exactly.
You know what?
Hey, hang on. I'm talking to her.
I was at work. I was busting my behind trying to keep the business afloat. Mind you, we moved when this business came about. I made a major sacrifice when he asked me to marry him. I said, you know what? Let's move in with my mom so we can save up enough money, buy a house, and then live as, you know.
Okay. We spent a long time on this. I think I know what's happening on the business side. I still don't see pathological liar. I see maybe he didn't have a successful business, but I don't see pathological liar. You said there was an incident with respect to a trip to Europe that highlights the fact that he does indeed lie unnecessarily.
Well, when my father passed away, he left a little bit of money, and I used it because me and my father didn't have a good relationship growing up. I thought it'd be symbolic to have a family trip, invest in a family trip with the money. So I spent all of it, and then at the very last minute, Mr. Nozel waited till the very last minute to get a visa to France, because we were going to France. And then everything just fell to the wayside because he did everything last minute. He kept telling me, I got this, everything's good, everything's good. With Stan, everything is good. Everything's always good. He's a smooth smooth operator. Everything is hunky-dory, and he's a yes man. He'll yes you to death and never execute when he's supposed to.
You just heard what she said, right?
Your Honor.
You want to respond to it?
Yes. First of all, okay? All right. The whole trip, Your Honor, I wasn't sure. Okay, I didn't know my car was expiring at the time. So when I checked, I was like, oh, wow, I only have 2 weeks. But I went, updated everything, even applied for the citizenship. I did all that. But to go, before you get it, you have to go to the embassy to get a visa. They ask you a whole lot of paperwork. I provided most of the paperwork they asked for. The last thing they asked for was, since I had the business, they asked for the business license. I provided that also. But for some reason, they want you to have a certain amount of money to show that you're flying with, that you're going there, that you're not gonna just go and sleep in the street.
We spent 6 months discussing
I'm
this
talking,
trip.
thank you, Your Honor.
6 months.
Hang on, Ms. Nozel. He is talking.
And you heard that. So when I got there, the embassy told me last minute, they said everything's good, you have everything completed, sir, you have the amount of money. They said, well, you don't have enough cash, enough fund to travel with. And I was not staying in no hotels. I told them, I'm not staying in a hotel, I'm staying with family. I'm going to friends and family. They denied me. So the day I was supposed to fly, which was my birthday, I have friends leaving work to come to the embassy with me to drop me at the airport. Why would I have a friend to do all that if I was going to lie about something that major?
I got it.
Next, what items are on the improvement list Stanley signed before Daphne would let him back in the house? If the ink on your marriage license is barely dry, but you're ready to call it quits, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt. Couples in crisis, real resolution. Divorce Court continues.
We spent some time talking about him being a pathological liar. I don't think he's a pathological liar. I think he's a happy-go-lucky, take-it-easy kind of guy. He doesn't quite get to everything, dot all his I's and cross all his T's, and he's not the first one in the line. And sometimes he just begs off because he just didn't quite get it done. So, that I don't buy. I would like to ask you, however, or turn your attention to the concerns that you have about the amount and quality of the time Mr. Nozel spends with his children.
Yes. We have, at the time when I was pregnant with our second child, our firstborn was a year old. Throughout my entire pregnancy, because Mr. Nozel wasn't doing what he was supposed to, I had to work 60 hours a week, every day throughout my entire pregnancy until probably a week before delivery. The entire summer last year, while I was pregnant, I would try to skip work or take breaks in between work, rush to go to daycare, pick up our one-year-old to bring him to the park to spend some quality time with him because his dad wasn't doing it. I would bring soccer balls.
So were you two separated at the time?
No, he was living at the house. He behind my back, even while I was paying for the first business that I took out loans on, he secretly behind my back went and spoke to an investor where he opened a business behind my back. while I'm still paying for the first business. So he spent all of last year working from sun up to sundown.
At this business.
At this
and you
business
had a baby
And I had a baby, teaching him how to kick a soccer, teaching him how to ride a bicycle.
At one?
What?
Yes, yes.
Oh, you can't play soccer and ride a bicycle when you're one?
He's a talented one-year-old. I mean, I know every mom thinks that their child is exceptional, but mine, he sure is.
So you're saying he wasn't doing his job. What did you do in response to that?
I put him out. I told him, I said, and mind you, this business, this secret business that he had, he wasn't contributing any money.
I got it. So you put him out. What happened?
So I put him out, and I told him, I said, you got to come. If you want to come back, you got to come back with conditions. So I made him sign a contract, and he promised to do a whole list of things.
Let's talk about the list.
All right.
You say, be more involved when it comes to household duties. Be more involved with my wife. Be more involved in my son's life. Spend more time with him doing productive things. Take him to the park, play ball at the park, do dad and son activities. Work on putting more focus on taking great care of our family. Avoiding putting more burden on Daphne during the last few months of the pregnancy and pick things up after giving birth. That's the only thing in there that makes any sense. Be more of a responsible person and reliable. Be more focused on Daphne. Spend more time creating a better environment for her kids. Pay more attention to their needs. She's unhappy and frustrated. That's all that says. You know, I would like to say this. If you're gonna ask somebody to do something, you gotta be specific. Right here, we've got amorphous wants and weak qualifiers. Spend more time with the kids. What is that?
Quality.
I mean, clean up more. Yesterday, he picked up one sock. Tomorrow, he'll pick up two. He's in compliance.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You need to tell people specifically what you need from them. You should be able to come up with a few on your own.
I've done that also,
You're a
Your
grown
Honor.
man.
I've done that also, Honor. And then it's black or white. Example, I take my son to the park. My son is...
Oh, God.
I take my son to the park. I know how I want to teach him to do certain things. She'll sit in the background like, nope. How are you going to do that? You just spent only 10 minutes. I'm like...
He's two. His idea of taking my son to the park and teaching him how to kick a ball is he'll give the kid the ball and stand there and tell him, run with the ball and kick it.
When Divorce Court continues, what is the right way to get a husband to buy the perfect present? Will Daphne pass the test?
Do you think Daphne can look past Stanley's business failure and patch up their marriage? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call now.
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and join the conversation on Twitter at Divorce Court. Divorce Court continues.
I think I understand your general concern is he's just not there. He's just not showing up economically, emotionally, physically. He's just not showing up. Your response is, I'm doing the best I can in the best way that I know how. Exactly. It just hadn't come to fruition yet, and you got to give me a little more time. Exactly. Did I get that straight?
Exact, 100%.
Okay, so I'm on target with that. Let me ask you this. You say not only is he neglectful, but he's selfish as well, and you give me an instance about a bracelet. Would you care to tell me about that?
A bracelet?
Yeah, you said that.
Well, okay, my husband...
You wanted a bracelet, I guess.
He's the type of person, like, I'll say, a Victoria's Secret catalog will come in, and I'd circle all the things that I like and put my size and the color and everything, and leave it right there open. And I'd want a dress and some bras, and then he'll go and get me a belt.
Did you see the stuff that she had circled?
No.
You saw none of that?
No.
Where did you come up with your idea of the type of gift that you got her?
Well, it's based on the needs, what I see her missing in her closet. I'll probably, she need a belt. I'll get her a belt. Or sometimes I'm like, okay, how about you tell me exactly, I saw this dress, I will buy things for her. Just something I see look very nice. This will look nice on my wife.
It looks nice to him.
This will look nice on my wife. Let me buy that. But she has so many catalogs coming to the house, Your Honor. Sometimes I'm like, seriously? Let's just throw this thing out. Too many catalogs in the house. But And between those catalogs, maybe there's one up there with all the little circles, little notes.
So you do
but
see
I don't
them.
know. No.
He
I
didn't.
said
No,
maybe.
that's not what he said. He said there's so many there. There might be one with circles in them, but he wouldn't know because they're just so all stacked up over there. You know what? You know what I found with Ms. Nozzle? You can't be subtle with guys, especially in areas in which they feel they have no real legitimate purpose.
But 9 years, Judge?
It doesn't matter. I've been married 27 years. I'm not subtle with my husband. This is what I want. You get it over here. It's $13.95. Don't wait till Tuesday because it'll be gone. Now, if you want to get whatever, don't tell him nothing. But if you want to get what you want, you better tell him what it is you want.
Can I say one thing, Judge?
What?
My husband is a dreamer. He's an artist. He's a visionary. I'm a planner. I picked my OBGYN 2 years before we even talked about having kids. I like to plan. And I feel like if he stuck with me and we planned together, we could be Beyonce and Jay-Z. I think that we would be capable.
What is
but
it, Mr.
his
Nozzle?
dreams, this is where selfishness comes in. When he dreams for himself.
The nature of the beast is the nature of the beast. You married a dreamer and you're mad that you didn't get Steve Jobs. You know, I mean, if you marry an artist, then you get an artist, and they do what they do it the way they do it, and you can't get mad about it. You get the guy that married, not the one you hope to make him into, because all he does is get mad.
Judge Lynn Toler's ruling next. Divorce Court. Judge Lynn Toler's ruling right now.
So what is your deal breaker?
My deal breaker is with the kids. My husband, he doesn't cook anymore. He doesn't help out around the house. He doesn't spend time with the kids. And when he comes home, he wants to cuddle and he wants to, we get in bed and he wants to have sex. I'm not, you're not doing any of what I anticipated that you'd be doing 9 years later. I don't want to give you anything.
I got you. Mr. Nozzle, do you care to, again, briefly respond to that comment?
Well, Your Honor, I work 16 to 18 hours a day, okay? So by the time I get home, I'm exhausted. I love my kids. I want to come home and come to them. Before I even come home, I want to hear them. If I'm having a bad day, I ask my wife, can I speak to them so I can hear my son's voice? Okay, I'll speak to her. All I ask for, Your Honor, if I get home, just give me a little minute. Don't just rush me to do things exactly how you want me to do because I'm exhausted. I had a long day. She never cared to ask me, how was your day? It's just, I'm exhausted. I love my kids. I enjoy doing things with my kids.
I got it. You told me like 19 times. You want half of the car note for a 2011 Jeep and half of 1 month's tuition for the kids for a total of $770. Tell me why you believe you are entitled to that amount.
When we were shopping around for a bigger car, we had a tiny little car. When I gave birth to our first son, we talked about getting a bigger car. When he saw the car, he was like, babe, this is it. We got to get this car. It was a little above our budget, but like I said, I was a pregnant,
I got it. You were big. Let's go.
Yeah, I was the sole financial contributor to the household. So I said, you know what? Even though it's a little above our budget, if that's what you want and we need it, we'll do it. So he has to give me half.
I got you. Listen, I think you're two nice people talking past one another. I think that, you got to let go. You dreaming about Mr. Casanova and he's dreaming about being Warren Buffett. You both need to stop dreaming and start working at the marriage. I understand you work at your job, but you can't forget your family while you're working for your family. And because they got right now needs and right now wants, both economic and emotional. And she's saying she's not getting any of that. And you also have to understand that people, those guys who really make it big and really make successful, they ain't home hanging around buying dresses for their wives. My father never bought a present for my mother, ever. I mean, ever. I mean, he wouldn't know what to do, where to go, couldn't ask him none of that. He was never home. He didn't teach me to do nothing. But when I got to college and the law school and medical school for my sister, we never saw a bill. We thought that was a good trade-off. That's my life, but you got to decide what you want to do in your life. In the meantime, in between time, I will pay you $770 for those items. And oh, no, you can't say another word because I'm leaving.
Stanley and Daphne respect the judge's ruling and agree that their marriage needs a lot more work than they thought. Post a comment or submit your case at divorcecourt.com or call toll-free 1-877-311-2222. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Divorce Court.